Hey guys, it's Misty coming back from the V-Dubstore. I just wanted to go over something else with you today about wheel bearings. How to know what it is that you have, and I'm also going to go over just the basic concept of a spindle, so that way when you look at it, you know if you're ball joint, link pin, whatever. First we're going to go over early. It's always easier to start early than go late. So this is what the concept of a link pin spindle looks like. As you can see, the back section of it is very small. There's also a carrier, which is part of your link pin spindle, that would hug this in particular. So your link pin wheel bearings that we sell are the MP bearings. Absolutely love them. They slide on. Oh, let me take that race off. They slide on perfect and have a snug fit. The little bit of wiggle that you're seeing is really on the outer part. It's not on the inner. One thing that people don't always understand is that on a Volkswagen, races come part of the wheel bearing. They don't come part of the hub or the rotor or whatever it is that you're buying in order to put on it. So your races always come as part of your wheel bearing. So now you're going to get your inner wheel bearing. You're going to put it on there. And it fits, again, perfect. That little bit of a wiggle, again, is really in the bearing. It's not in the inner collar. Now, a lot of times people will get a wheel bearing and they're like, can't even do it. I can't get it on. It's stuck. It won't go on any further. Well, you have to realize, especially if you're dealing with older ones, bearings have kind of made their groove. They've kind of, so to speak, not come off in a long time. So you can get the old one off, and sometimes you'll mark up or gall the actual spindle a little bit, or it'll create a little bit of a groove where the bearing will not want to slide on. And sometimes just wiggling things just a little bit. That's what I tell my daughter all the time. She's little and she can't always get something. I always say, just wiggle it a little bit. And if you wiggle it, it walks right on. The other thing is sometimes you could take a piece of emery cloth. Remember, these are machined parts, so sometimes there's a little bit of an edge or a lip right there. And bearings, they are a super tight fit, you know? Here, you just watch me take it on and off 6 times, and now I can't get it back on myself right now. But they're a very tight fit. So sometimes you just need to get that little edge off of it. And it's always easier to do it to the spindle. Now it's making me mad. There it goes. See? You just watch me do it 6 times, and then all of a sudden I couldn't do it. So if I could do it 6 times and then all of a sudden it gets snagged up, it's going to happen to you. And it's a lot of the times people think, oh, I got the wrong bearing, or oh, there's something wrong with the spindle. Honestly, sometimes just polishing it a little bit helps this so that it wants to go on easier. But you also don't want to polish it that you're taking material, or you don't want to cut it and take material away, because you want that inner race to sit nice and snug on that shaft. Next, we're going to go to ball joint. So, ignore this because this is a spacer that you would technically put on an older one. This comes molded in on the aftermarket one. So now you're going to look at the taper here. On a link pin, it goes straight, and then big jump down, and then go straight out to your threads. On a ball joint spindle, they look a bit different. Number one, this has more of a carrier design, where on a link pin, they'd sit together like this. So on a ball joint spindle, all you have are the 2 ears, and then you have the tie rod piece that comes up off the spindle. Now this one's for disc brake. I got it. You may not have this piece right here. You would still have this remainder though. However, anyone who doesn't know, this is the bracket for a disc brake kit if you don't have a bolt-on style disc brake kit. So on your ball joint, you can see this is a slow taper on the ball joint spindle. Bearings work the same way. And once again, if you need to, sometimes just polishing this cut edge can sometimes help get that bearing on a lot easier. Now there's one little tip and trick that I wanted to tell you guys about. I've been seeing a company that is coming out with these real cool wheels, but they're 4-lug. And let's be honest, a lot of us have earlier Beetles, and customers want to be able to put them on. There is actually a way to do this. So, EMPI has a link pin conversion disc brake kit that can work for you. Depends on what the application is. And that would convert you to disc brake. However, there's also a way to use a ball joint drum and use drum brakes for the front and still mount your 4x130 brand new rim design that you're looking at. And that is these guys. They're called conversion bearings. So again, this is taking a link pin spindle and converting it to a ball joint drum. So your inner diameter is going to be the same as the link pin, but your outer diameter is going to be a ball joint drum. And as you can see, well, I just picked up the race instead. This is a link pin inner wheel bearing. This slides literally over the top because you're now ball joint on the outside and your link pin on the inside. Ball joint bearing, I just took the race off of it. Or I'm sorry, link pin bearing. I just took the race off of it. So that inner diameter is the link pin wheel bearing. And your outer diameter, now this is a ball joint race, is the same, if I can hold it still, is the same as the ball joint wheel bearing. So that will take you from link pin spindle to ball joint drum, allowing you to then use 4x130 bolt patterns, or they also have like the Chevy bolt pattern drums on your vintage pre-65 Volkswagen. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, give me a call, send me a text. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe.